everyone, welcome back to this edition of We Are Not Entertained. Oh wait, that's right. Brock is in Indianapolis right now, as I'm speaking. So, I am the made man, Tommy Haley, flying solo today. I don't know how much of a mistake Brock is making. Maybe none. Maybe some. Who knows? I will start off today with reading some of the wrestling news that has happened over the week, and a pretty busy week at that. Plus, I will review an episode of Superstars. I believe it is the October 29th episode of Superstars from the year 2009, so I'll get to that in a second. But let's first start with the news. Starting off, we have The Miz announcing his tag team partner. So, WWE's pay-per-view in a place that shall not be named, he had a backstage segment saying he will have a tag team partner against the Mysterios at WrestleMania. Of course, everyone speculated, it's definitely going to be Cody Rhodes, because last week we talked about Cody possibly going to WWE. I mean, nothing's official, but here we are. So, Monday happens, and Miz is doing his segment, Miz TV, if I'm not mistaken, and he's a rather dashing person that does all this stuff, hypes up said person. But notice how he said dashing, because I believe Cody, when he was in WWE, did the dashing thing as well. Nope, we got blue-balled by the WWE. And of course, it's everyone's favorite person in the world, Logan Paul. Look, I'm gonna be honest, who gives a fuck? Really? Logan Paul, of course. I mean, hell, Sami Zayn is going to face Johnny Knoxville at Mania. I mean, that's also happening. So, I mean, it's not surprised. I mean, there's always celebrity involvement. Hell, the past 37 have always had celebrity involvement. Look at the very first one. That was just pure celebrity involvement to get mainstream. Anyway, I'm getting off track. What do I think of this? I don't really care, because I don't give a shit about Logan Paul. I just don't care about this at all. Don't care about it at all. The next topic on the docket relates to Raw as well. I guess Edge doesn't have an opponent for WrestleMania as well, but he did. But WWE Twitter had a very interesting little tweet to talk about. They used the term smoke and mirrors, if we're being quite frankly. Also, smoke and mirrors is a hint at Cody's original theme before he turned into Stardust and all that debacle I don't want to talk about. The smoke and mirrors was his best theme, and I'm going to die on that hill. But yeah, anyway, WWE is slightly teasing that Cody is coming to WWE. I mean, Veer is definitely not coming, which I'm pretty sure... I want to talk about Veer Mahan for a second, because it has been, I don't know how many months now that they have teased that Veer is coming to Raw, which I'm pretty sure they're just in on the joke now, and it's actually quite funny. I don't think we're ever going to see him on the main roster. Apparently, he's been showing up at, main event tapings and stuff like that in dark matches, but he's nowhere to be found on the main roster. Personally, I just don't care. It's kind of funny seeing the WWE Twitter page literally just in all caps, Veer is coming to Raw soon, or something on the lines of that. It's like, good God, he's coming, and he's coming very hard. God, that sounded so sus. I don't know why I just said it like that. Ugh, so disgusting. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened on Raw. SmackDown, on the other hand, was an interesting thing. So, I mean, we didn't talk about it because Brock didn't want to talk about it. Brock Lesnar won the Elimination Chamber match in places I shall not name at Elimination Chamber. So, it is now a winner-take-all title for title. Everyone thought, Champ's going to pull double duty. Whoever wins that, they're going to be on Raw for the WWE Championship. They're going to be on SmackDown for the Universal. So, apparently, plans have changed. It is now a title unification match, which I don't know how to think about. I don't know what to think about that, honestly. I really don't. Is it interesting? I mean, yeah, but when you now have only one main championship, and then you'll have the secondary ones, like the IC title and the US title and all that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Whoever wins that match, will they pull double duty? Is it going to be Roman? I mean, odds are, I would say yes, that it would be Roman. But it wouldn't surprise me if Brock Lesnar is the first ever, whatever this one is, title is, unnamed WWE title it's called. So, personally, it'd be cool to see them bring back the big gold belt. Like, that would be dope as hell. Honestly. As I take a drink of water. But it's interesting now that it's a title unification match, especially with what happened at SmackDown with the contract signing happening. Now, take note, this is a WWE contract signing, so something is going to happen. Roman goes on a tirade saying, SmackDown's my show. I own everyone on SmackDown. That's not true. Vince McMahon created SmackDown and stuff like that. And he said even the security that was like surrounding Brock Lesnar and to protect Brock Lesnar from Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I didn't really watch SmackDown. I was working Friday, so I just saw videos. So there's like 6 security guards surrounding Brock Lesnar. And then there's one to like, I believe Brock's left, that is like doing the Henry Cavill thing from Mission Impossible, literally like loading his fists up like he's about ready to fist fight. And then Brock Lesnar just flips a table, just goes on a rampage. And then the guy that like shotgunned his arm or like loaded his arms literally got lawn darted with one of the chairs that Brock Lesnar was sitting in. And I mean, he got lawn darted square in the face. I'm like, ooh, that had to hurt. That had to hurt. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the WWE side for news. Wait, I forgot one thing. So, during this week, or during SmackDown as well, Pat McAfee announced that Vince McMahon will be doing a sit-down interview with him, or with all of the people that also are on the Pat McAfee show. Kind of like what happened with Brock Lesnar this Thursday. Now, the funny thing is that Michael Cole asked, how did you get Vince McMahon on your show? In studio, by the way. Pat McAfee said the best answer. Quite possibly, I don't even know how the hell I got him on a show, or something like that. I kind of paraphrased it. But I kind of like, that's funny. So, apparently, this is actually a match, or a angle leading up to Mania, which everyone was like, okay, it's going to be, Austin Theory wrestling Pat McAfee, because, you've seen backstage segments with Austin Theory and Vince McMahon. I mean, Vince McMahon, I think, is, 72 now? And let's take note, McMahon's last actual wrestling match was against CM Punk, I believe, in the year 2012. One of the editors can put a note that I am completely wrong. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm pretty sure that was his, McMahon's actual last wrestling match. It was against CM Punk in 2012. Don't remember when. Don't remember if it was a episode of Raw, a pay-per-view. Definitely wasn't on Superstars. It was either on Raw, pay-per-view, or SmackDown at the time. But yeah, this is happening, which is weird because the last time Pat also wrestled, it led up to him being in an angle with Adam Cole, where Adam Cole went on was doing an interview with Pat in studio. So I guess if you go to Pat McAfee's thing, it's kind of going to be an angle. I mean, other than the Brock Lesnar thing, which was awesome, by the way. But yeah, I mean, am I excited for this match? Kinda. Am I intrigued? Yes. The only reason why is because Vince McMahon is a 72-year-old human being, and he hasn't wrestled in about, 10 years. So, that's going to be interesting. I mean, he's probably going to do what he always does, make it no disqualification and have someone wrestle for him, basically. And then if he ends up winning this, he's going to, get the pin. So, I mean, that's a typical Vince McMahon match I did right there. I just booked a typical Vince McMahon match, make it no disqualification, have one of his goons wrestle for him and absolutely beat the shit out of the person he's facing, and then he'll get the pin. He'll basically get the win, and there you go. So, on the other side of WWE is AEW, obviously. So, Jeff Hardy has obviously been gone from WWE. for I don't know how long now. It's been a while. It's been like, I think, a month or two now. And he's been doing stuff, I mean, being healthy, being sober, which I am all for. Be as healthy as you need to be. Take as much time as you want to come back. But of course, Jeff Hardy, being Jeff Hardy, leaked himself going to AEW. So, I don't know how or where I could find this YouTube channel, but he, like, kind of leaked it himself on this YouTube channel that had, like, 350 subscribers and basically said, yeah, I'm going to AEW. Which, leave it to Jeff Hardy to, like, basically announce something like that. That big of a magnitude on a YouTube channel with 350 subscribers, no following at all, and just drops a bomb like that. That's why I love Jeff Hardy. He's the best. Just a charismatic enigma. Just, I love him. Love him. Oh, another thing happened this week. It's a good thing I decided to do this on a Sunday. Because during the week, it was reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com that Cesaro is no longer working for the WWE. His contract expired, and he had, quote-unquote, quietly exited from the WWE. Cesaro is one of those cases where it's like, they should have done more with him. I mean, you give him the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial. Sorry, it is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I can never say that correctly, but I just did. He slammed the Big Show, gave him his WrestleMania moment, gave him that win, and then they just do nothing with him. I mean, they have him tag team with Sheamus, making the bar, which I'm 50-50 on. I mean, it was cool and all that, yeah. But they just dropped the ball on Cesaro. I mean, I'm saying that with Samoa, like, I said that with Samoa Joe as well. Like, those are two people that should have had a WWE title around their waist for some time. I mean, granted, Samoa Joe got the U.S. title and stuff like that. That led to nothing. Cesaro and Sheamus had the tag team titles. I mean, they had it for a bit. I think they lost. I don't remember how they lost it. I mean, they were up against Kofi and Seth the night after the Mania, where they both won. Which, I can't believe WWE blue-balled us by having a title-for-title match the night after. And they're like, nope, here's the bar. Screw you guys. But, I mean, I mean, wherever he goes, I mean, that's if he just continues to wrestle or he's retired. I mean, Cesaro is that case where he should have been multiple-time world champion in WWE. Hell, give him an IC title run, which they never did. I mean, hell, he wrestled Roman Reigns in a pretty decent match. It's just that, it's wasted opportunity. Wasted opportunity. And it sucks. I really hate it. But, I mean, his contract's expired. So, I mean, he let it expire. So he can basically wrestle wherever he wants to, right off the rip. Whether that be Impact, AEW, or somewhere like GCW, New Japan, if he decides to leave somewhere in the UK. I don't know where in the UK. But, of course, when someone leaves WWE, they go to the land of ex-WWE stars. It used to be Impact for a time being, in those early days. Now it seems to be AEW, where everyone's like, when everyone saw that report, everyone was like, Cesaro is definitely going to AEW. Well, I'm like, well, I mean, maybe. I mean, hell, Keith Lee just got there. I mean, you've got Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley wrestling each other, which I'm pretty sure that happened on SmackDown a couple years ago, as Dean Ambrose and Daniel Bryan. I mean, that's really... I mean, it's just AWWE at this point now. They're turning into what TNA was during those early 2000 runs, where they were just like, if someone left WWE, here they are on TNA/Impact. So, I mean, It'll be interesting to see where Cesaro goes. I mean, granted, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Case in point, when Keith Lee went to AEW, it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do now that he's in that Ring of the Revolution ladder match or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. He's going to be on the pay-per-view. He's going to wrestle. I can't watch it because I'll have to work that day. So, yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of AEW, there was one person that I thought was going to leave, join WWE, maybe be a world champion sometime in the near future, but no. I'm talking about one Brian Cage. He has signed a new contract with AEW, staying with AEW, which was a surprise to me. Because remember when he first came, everyone was like, they just stole Brian Cage from WWE, because if he was going to go there, he was going to get the rocket strapped on him. I mean, if you see Brian Cage, he's literally a genetic freak. I mean, like, he's what you would think of a typical Vince McMahon guy. He's big, he's strong, but the difference is kind of good in the ring. Wait, there's no difference between great in the ring and kind of good in the ring. That's a Vince McMahon guy. Just, you would think when he goes to WWE, that's if he ever does, they're just going to strap the rocket on him and just launch him into space and make him a world champion 3 or 4 times over. But no, he's staying with AEW, which is really surprising because hasn't really done a lot of stuff for AEW. I mean, he first debuted, did that thing with Team Taz and all that, and after that, haven't really seen anything from him, let alone seen him on TV at all. Granted, I believe he had some injuries going into AEW, so he had time off because of that, but I think all of his injuries are healed now. He's gotten the surgeries, he's gotten all the stuff like that, so he's good. But we haven't seen him on TV. Whether they don't have anything creative for him, I don't know. I don't work for these companies. I like the fantasy book. So does Brock. Even though he's not here, I know he's going to be fantasy booking certain things. But hey, to each their own. All right. It is now time for the episode in review of WWE Superstars. Now, before I start this review, This is the episode on October 29th of the year 2009. So Brock, after we're done reviewing it, likes to announce the rosters. I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to say the rosters before I start reviewing the show. We will start with Raw. Because Brock said last week there are some roster changes. And believe me, there are. We'll start with ECW first, because this is around the time where ECW is kind of getting into its dying days. I mean, granted, NXT game show version started around February 20, I don't remember when. It's around 2010. So, we're getting there. I mean, they're almost at death's door, but not quite. But we are in the very dying days of ECW, because this is their roster. They have Abraham Washington, Byron Saxton, because he got called up, Christian, Ezekiel Jackson, Goldust, Josh Matthews, Katie Lee Burchill, Paul Burchill, Rosa Mendez, Shelton Benjamin, The Hurricane, Tiffany, Tommy Dreamer, Tyler Rex, Vladimir Kozlov, William Regal, Yoshitatsu, and Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo. That is 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 people on the ECW roster. Yeah, we're in the very dying days of ECW. And it's about ready to turn into NXT game show version. So, future episodes down the line, we're going to see certain superstars with their NXT trainees. I don't remember what they called them when they first did the game show. I don't remember. You can flash it up the screen right here what they were called. But here is Raw's roster. Alicia Fox, ugh. Big Show, Brie Bella, Carlito, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Masters, I don't know why I just said Chris Matthews, Cody Rhodes, Evan Bourne, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, Hornswoggle, Jack Swagger, Jerry the King Lawler, Jillian Hall, John Cena, Justin Roberts, Katie Lee Burchill. I guess she got moved up to the Raw roster because it says she's also on the ECW roster. She's probably pulling double duty. Who knows? Kelly, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, Maurice, Melina, Michael Cole, MVP, Nikki Bella. Those are the two that got called up from the ECW roster, so they're now on the main roster. Primo, Randall Keith Orton, Santino Marella, Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, Ted DiBiase Jr., The Miz, and Triple H. So that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34 active members on the Raw roster. SmackDown had Batista, Beth Phoenix, CM Punk, Charlie Haas, Chris Jericho, David Hart Smith, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Edge, Eric Escobar. I don't remember what he did on SmackDown, honestly. I don't remember. What was he there for? Was he a manager for someone? I don't know. I'm asking this question to myself because Brock is in Indianapolis right now. So, we have Finlay, JTG, Jimmy Wang Yang, because I think Brock told me that him and someone, and I think like 3 or 4 other people came up from ECW. John Morrison, Kane, Kung Fu Naki. Yep, I'm pretty sure he came up from ECW. I could be wrong. I probably am. Layla, Maria, Matt Hardy. Matt Stryker is on SmackDown now, so he is on the main commentary. He is on the main roster commentary teams now. Because I think JR was... I don't remember what JR was doing at this time. I think he was retired. I don't remember. Anyway, we had Michelle McCool, Mickie James, Mike Knox, Natalia, R-Truth, Rajan Singh, that is the manager for Great Khali, Rey Mysterio, Shad Gaspard, Slam Master J, The Undertaker, Teddy Long, Todd Grisham, Tony Chamel, and Tyson Kidd. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's 36. So SmackDown had 2 more people than Raw, yet both had way more than ECW at this time, which is not surprising if we're being honest here. Alright, so let's start with the episode of Superstars. We start off with the absolute awesome intro with a bunch of pyro, which they do an insane amount of pyro, and I don't understand why. I'm going to say that every time we watch Superstars, is that they do an ungodly amount of pyro to start, which I can never get that out of my head. I'm like, God, it's so much pyro, but here we are. We start with the Raw match. I believe they were coming out of Buffalo and Rochester, New York at this time. I don't know where was where. But we start off with the Raw segment. It is Jack Swagger versus Primo. So this is the Raw part of the match. So we have Michael Cole and Jerry the King on commentary. A pretty decently, somewhat okay match. I mean, okay, let's face it. This was a squash match for Jack Swagger because I think he was on this undefeated streak, I put it in quotes, he had for singles matches. So yeah, there was that. Doesn't count that he was on the losing side of Team Raw because Big Show turned on Team Raw. Go figure, that's not surprising. Big Show turns turns heel and face like it's turning a car. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, let's face it, this was a Jack Swagger just squash match. I mean, Primo was doing all this high-flying stuff. I mean, Jack Swagger basically kept him, grounded with, clubbing blows, clotheslines, After all, Jack Swagger is an amateur wrestler, so he is using a lot of that typical style of offense. But yeah, he hits the gut-wrench powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I really don't know what to give this match. Jack Swagger wins. Don't really know. I guess a 1 out of 5, I guess. I mean, it was a typical, squash match you would see on Superstars. So, yeah. The next one, we have the Ask the Diva segment. Ugh, who gives a crap about this? I'm actually going to pull a page out of Brock's book. I skipped the Diva segments and all the commercials. So, I guess the next match is the one where I don't understand why I'm doing this solo, but it is Kelly versus Alicia Fox. I want to be honest, did not pay attention during this match at all. It's the Divas, it's the women's division, it's the Divas in 2009. So, I mean, I really didn't pay attention to that. Brock might be mad at me because I'm saying this, but come on. It's a women's match in the year 2009. Not the greatest time for the women's division. I mean, if you look at it now, it's a really bad time, especially with Kelly and Alicia Fox. I don't know. I'm dead serious when I say I did not pay attention during this match. I guess Alicia Fox ended up winning. I don't know. I don't care. It's a negative 2 out of 5 for me. It's the women's division. Who gives 2 shits at this time? I want to see John Cena and all that in 2009. That was me in 2009 as a kid. I only wanted to see John Cena and The Undertaker. God, I cannot believe I just said that. The next match is our main event. It is the Hart Dynasty with... Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get to that, there's actually a backstage segment with the Hart Dynasty talking strategy with Mike Knox. Gotta say, Mike Knox is a very weird dude. I mean, really weird. That's all I have to say. If you want to know why, go watch that episode and you'll understand. So, next, we have the ECW segment of Superstars. It is, I believe, Zack Ryder versus Tyler Rex for what it feels like the 5 millionth time I'll watch these damn episodes of Superstars. This match flew by. And I mean 3 minutes. This was a 1-segment match. There was a lot of brawling in the inside, brawling in the outside. Zack Ryder and Tyler Rex, I believe they wrestled 5 million times up to this time. So it's stuff inside the ring, stuff outside the ring. Zack Ryder gets the win. I mean, it was really good. I mean, it was 3 minutes, but it felt like 20 because it dragged on. That's no hate to Zack Ryder because I love what he's doing right now in NWA and all that stuff. But, I mean, nothing really happened. It's just it was a 3-minute match that felt forever. I mean, Byron Saxton was on commentary. That was fucking dope. That was so cool to see him on commentary for the first time. If I'm not mistaken, before he gets fucking absolutely destroyed by Corey Graves at every beck and turn on Raw these days. And before he was actually, wrestling. I think this was leading up to him wrestling on NXT before he got injured. Don't want to talk about that because I think Brock would get pissed off for me hearing that. But another thing was Lauren Mayhew, the ring announcer for ECW. Good God, she's awful. Absolutely terrible. Whoever did GCW when they were at Hammerstein the very first time did a better job than that. Actually, I'm kidding. Who are we kidding? They both sucked. Just Lauren Mayhew, I know she's trying to do her best, but good God, it was so bad. So bad. It's like nails on a chalkboard. My ears were bleeding. Not actually, but they wanted to bleed so bad. But hey, Byron Saxton's on the call, so hey. Congratulations. Also, congratulations to Matt Striker. He's now on SmackDown, as I said. So, I mean, it's obviously commercial break time now. And then we have the main event, which is coming from SmackDown. It is JTG Crime Time. I don't remember the other guy's name. JTD and Shad Gaspard. Yo, it's JTG and Shad Gaspard of Crime Time. And then they did all their stuff with R-Truth this time, because it's a trios tag team match against the Hart Dynasty and Mike Knox. We have Matt Striker on commentary with Todd Grisham. Yeah, let's go. Woo, yeah, cool. By the way, just throwing this out there, I'm going to do this as a bit now. Do not take medical advice from Matt Striker. I am dead serious when I say that. So, no, this is like when they took R-Truth seriously. I get it. R-Truth is basically a comedy wrestler now. He's getting old. He's getting up there in age, so he's turning into a comedy wrestler and all that, which, I mean, people forget. He was in TNA, and they actually took him seriously, like, really seriously. But yeah, this was like the R-Truth that like was actually wrestling, going for the IC title, US title, wherever he was on SmackDown or Raw. So, we have, the Hearts coming down and all that. This is actually a very decent match. Then again, I believe Crime Time in the Hart Dynasty always happens on SmackDown at this time, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you're going to get a good match out of these 4. And then you have Mike Knox and R-Truth. So I guess you have 6 now. Because they just be like, hey, you want to go against these people? Yeah, sure, let's do it. So, I mean, a lot of... Let's just, I don't really know. I mean, this match happens all... I mean, I feel like if you put this, like, on an episode of SmackDown, it wouldn't be out of place at all. It wouldn't be out of place at all. I mean, it's Crime Time versus the Hart Dynasty. I know I'm saying this again, but, I mean, it's just very decent. You're going to get a good match out of these 4. Then you have R-Truth and Mike Knox, so you have 2 more people. You got 6. Call it a day. That's good. So, I mean, typical, cutting the ring in half and all that. Great technical wrestling from the Harts. Go figure. I mean, Tyson Kidd just, so good. So good. David Hart Smith, so good. Tyson Kidd, mwah, chef's kiss. Natalia's there just to be there. She's just standing there because, let's face it, it's 2009. It's a women's division. Not pretty at this time. But, I mean, this is a 2-segment match. So we go to commercial break, and it comes back with Knox being an arm bar. And apparently, so during the break, Mike Knox gets thrown to one of the ring posts and then gets shoulder blocked to the ground. So there's that. Now he's in an arm bar. Offense. R-Truth gets one of his finishers. I don't remember what his finisher called. 1, 2, 3. R-Truth, Crime Time, pick up the win against the Hearts, which they're like typical heels. They're injured, they're battered, they're pissed off because they just lost. And like, God, how are we going to beat these guys? And that's basically it. What do I give this match? It was decently paced, 2-segment match. Hart Dynasty, Crime Time, SmackDown. Matt Striker on commentary with Todd Grisham. So I feel like this was an episode of ECW, because I believe Todd Grisham was originally on ECW for a bit. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, because I think that actually happened. Screw it. I'll give it a 2 out of 5. That'll be the highest rating I get. Oh yeah, I don't think I gave a rating for the ECW match. It was it was $1.75 out of 5. I mean, it was high paced. 3 minutes felt like 20. Whatever. But yeah, this trios tag team match, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 because it was actually really good. I think that about does it. I mean, it's only me, so it's going to be fairly quick. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know what else I want to talk about. Oh yeah, plugs. Thank you for listening to today's episode of We Are Not Entertained by myself, the made man Tommy Haley. If you like more of this content, be sure to like and subscribe to the B Card Entertainment YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter at dude_x14. The D and the R are capitalized. Let's see, what else? We have BTT this week. We're going to be talking about the top 5s, the MIPS. I believe we're going to be also talking about the Bob Ross documentary that's on Netflix. The top 5 this week is also places that should have sports teams, which is fairly easy. The problem is we have to actually name them, which is going to be quite difficult. I have my top 5 already finished, but like it was fairly difficult to like find names for certain places. I shall not name them. Especially the redacted. I believe our emo that listens to Screamo, Macy Shear, has her own podcast called the Sheer Shit Podcast. I don't know if that went live this past Friday or not, but I believe they should be back this Friday, barring anything weird and crazy happening, or getting too political. I think that's what happened, I don't remember. But, yeah, that pretty much does it. I mean, I didn't watch any wrestling, but I did watch this one. I was somewhat entertained. I was not entertained during the women's match, I can tell you that for damn sure. But yeah, I was pretty much fairly entertained this week by wrestling. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. But other than that, that's this edition of We Are Not Entertained. I've been the main man, Tommy Haley, and I will see you all next Monday. Be sure to drink plenty of water. Goodbye.